Nikki made a great Savoy cabbage that one of our church members gave us a few weeks ago, and it was just fantastic. We couldn't find another one. We were going to ask for another one from him, but this one is from Napa Valley. It's called a Napa Cabbage, and I want her to make it just like she made it the other week. It was fantastic. So Nikki, pick it up and tell us what you're going to do.
So I will tell you that Savoy cabbage, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I do have bronchitis right now, so I sound a hot mess. But the Savoy cabbage, I've never cut anything, so it was just like...
It was beautiful.
It was just velvet. Beautiful ribbons of cabbage. This, of course, is the Napa cabbage out of California. We bought this at Walmart. It says Ratto Brothers is the brand. You can do this type of recipe with any cabbage. Everyone has their own favorite recipe. And I do this for Tony. He eats it with his meat just to stay on more of that keto type diet.
Yep.
Eating just mostly meat and having some fiber and some vegetable to go with it. I'm going to also tell you that I'll add a little bit of water, and I'll show you where I add all this in. We also like the Plugra butter.
Plugra butter's great.
When I'm doing something like this. This is a really great butter. I know it costs a little more. It's a European style butter. I'll put in about 4 tablespoons of that. Really great smooth butter. This is salted, so I'm not going to add any salt. Tony likes a little bit of that smoky bacon taste, so this is bacon grease. I do save my bacon grease when I cook bacon in those little restaurant to-go containers. I buy those off Amazon, and I save my bacon grease. And we're going to spray it with the pan with olive oil. I am using my Ninja pot. I'm going to go ahead and let me show you how we get this started. I bought this at Sam's Club about a year ago. Really great. I think we did a review on this. I use this pot now. I use my slow cooker still, and this is used as a slow cooker, but it does a whole lot more.
That's great.
I love this pot, y'all. It almost replaces using the stovetop. So I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to turn it from slow cook to sear and saute, and I'm going to leave it on high and say start. And that'll start getting warmed up for us, and I'll show you when I add in this other ingredients. We are not going to cook this whole cabbage tonight. I'm doing this cabbage. You can also do what's called a red cabbage. I call it purple cabbage, but this one will take a little bit longer because it's a little harder cabbage.
Yeah.
And we just want a quick meal for tonight. So what I'm going to do, I've never sliced this cabbage before, so I'm going to go ahead and slice it down the middle and then slice it like I would a round one in small ribbons. And we'll cook this other half tomorrow night maybe.
So this is our first time with the Napa cabbage. It looks cool.
I have already washed it. And on the outside, and I'm using a really nice, if you don't have these are great to use, guys. This is just some little plastic cutting boards, and they come in different colors based on what you're cutting. This is for a vegetable, and I even cook most of the stalk. I'll cut off some of this end here.
It's fine.
And then I'm going to cut that in small ribbons, so if Tony can go above as much as he can.
You got it, baby.
And see, since he's a tall guy, and just see how. And you can cut this down the middle and use a mandolin if you like it even smaller. But I'm not going to go quite that small, so I'm just going to keep it as thin ribbons as I can. And you see, that's going to just get that into some nice ribbon. This is still in that stalk area. So we'll have Tony do his magic and speed up right here.
What's wrong?
Did you fart?
No. I didn't.
You sure?
Possibly.
I think you did.
No. Maybe Napa smells like fart.
No. This smells really nice and fresh. All right. So now let me get over here. I want to get my fingers. I think that's about as thin as I'm going to get it. Okay. All right. So now let's put this over here out of the way. So that doesn't cut as smooth, and it's not as pretty as that Savoy cabbage or a regular green cabbage, but it's still it's not as ribbony because it's more of a oblong shape. But I think it's still going to make a great fried cabbage. And this is just fried cabbage, y'all. That's all we're doing. So here's the pot, and it'll tell you right now it's still heating up. and it'll tell you add food. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I spray with olive oil, and the reason I do that is because I'm going to put butter at the bottom of the pan. And because of that, it'll help keep that butter from burning. So I really coat the pan. Then, oh sorry, didn't need to get that on your lens. I hope I didn't get it on your lens.
That's cool, baby.
So I'm doing about 4. Normally if it was just me, I would not even chop those up, but for the sake of a video, we'll let those just melt down a little bit. And then as soon as they melt just a little bit more, I'm gonna add the cabbage. And folks, you don't have to have this kind of pot. Just get you a nice pot on the stove, fry you some cabbage in it. So take a look here inside the pot. For some reason, Tony's way back there. I ain't even got a bra on. He keeps standing back there. Please stop filming me.
Okay.
Okay. I hate
now they're gonna look. You're gonna rewind and look back.
I hate wearing my please stop filming me. I don't even have makeup on. I've got bronchitis. All right. So there you go. That's your butter. That's your olive oil. Right. Now we're gonna throw this in. This may even be too much to put in. I told you that's gonna have a lot, and
that's awesome.
I don't like all those really big stalks, so let's take some of those out.
I'll leave the stalk.
All right, so Tony wants that left in.
I'll eat the stalk, baby.
I think it's a bit much, but I like it to be prettier than that. So here you've got that in there, and I know you're gonna think this is a little weird, but I'm gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of
this is the South. This is expected.
Bacon grease here.
Bacon grease.
And that gives it kind of, you barely even taste that bacon taste in it. You taste more of a smoky taste from that bacon. And I just put that on top. And then I'm going to cover that for now. And let that steam down some. Then I'm going to add a little bit of water. And that should take about 15 minutes.
15 minutes? All right. We'll be back then.
We're going to leave it at that. All right, so it's been about 8 minutes. Take a look at how that cabbage went down all on its own.
It's looking great.
And I may not need to add, I'm going to add just a little bit of that water. You can smell that smokiness from the bacon. And again, that's half of that cabbage. Wow, that looks really good. So I am going to add some of the water. That's about 2/3, almost 3/4 of a cup of water. There we go. So let's just add that little bit. That's about 1/4. And let that steam some more. About another 8 minutes. What you gonna say?
I was gonna say the thing that's cool is you didn't even salt it, and it's the butter and the bacon grease makes it pretty much. If you want to add a little salt to it, you can do that. Yeah. But I swear I think it's great just like that.
Let me show you one of my favorite salts to add.
Yeah.
Is please don't film me from behind. I just told him.
That's okay. Stop. You ain't got. I'll cut it. Go ahead.
All right. I just told you he's moving that camera everywhere, showing everything. Morton sea salt, fine. This is one of my favorite salts to add to food right now, y'all. But when it comes out a lot. But it's beautiful, nice. You only need to add a little bit. But if Tony wants this on his cabbage, he can add it. Now, what Tony doesn't know, he was gone the other day when I made the other cabbage. I took it off sear saute and I turned it to steam.
Yeah.
So see the steam here, or I can keep it on warm. So to do that, it's cooked for 10 minutes like that. And this is what I do with this pot. One of the faults with this pot, I don't think you can turn it down to different settings while it's in another setting. So I'm gonna put it on steam for now and say start. And it'll say it's gonna add food again, but now it's gonna be in steam mode and for about 10 minutes and it's done.
Fantastic.
And you see we only turned it. You see it's already steaming really good. Yep. But I want it to come out of that fry mode. Get out of that frying it.
This just makes it real tender. Of course, it's tender already.
It's super tender. Yeah. So we may not even have to do it that long. Let's leave that, let that cook off.
Yeah, we ate a little bit of it raw just to taste it since it's the first time we've done the Napa, and it's really delicate compared to regular cabbage.
Regular cabbage, this is super delicate. But I want some of that to cook off just a little bit more and that stalk to tenderize a little more. But that's not going to be much longer, okay? And then we're done. That took 15 minutes at most. I say about another 5 minutes.
I've already sampled a little bit of this and it's awesome. So folks, this is great. That's my steak. I like to cut my steak up in small little bites so you don't choke on it or anything. It's fantastic. And then Nikki's got my cabbage there. And that's how the end result looks. It's great. And she's going to put the rest of it in a container for later.
So you don't have to add as much water because this cabbage actually produced a lot more water than other cabbages do. I buy these from Amazon. They're cool. After owning a restaurant, it's hard to live without them. So you can buy them for nothing. All right, folks.
All right, folks. I'm gonna say I need that. Awesome. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like. What do you think, Hendrix? You had you a good dinner already, haven't you? He had sweet potato.
He had sweet potato, sweet peas, and turkey.
And turkey.